We've all been told that you need a good job in order to have financial stability. And we've seen time and time again that that's not the case. But what if that job is not only keeping you from financial stability, but also keeping you from financial independence? Here's what Earl Nightingale said back in 1956. And if you don't know Earl Nightingale, you should really check him out. He said, there's no such thing as a job that represents security. He said, if a man believes that his security rests in the job, if he loses that job, he loses everything. I'm a risk-averse person, which means I'm a person who doesn't like taking big risks, and I like a bit of certainty in my life. And one of the best ways I've found to lower my risk is to reach financial independence. And if you're a person like me who doesn't like risk and things that you can't control, financial independence is a great goal for you to strive for, because it will make you less susceptible to outcomes that are dictated by things that you can't control. Now, if you're not sure about what the definition of financial independence is, well, I'm going to say that financial independence is having enough wealth and passive income to support your lifestyle without you needing to have a job. You can still work if you want to, but you do not have to rely on a job in order for your lifestyle to continue the way it is, because you have income coming in from other sources. So if we go with the idea that having a job keeps you from financial independence, but also know that quitting a job before you reach financial independence is a big risk to you financially, how do we make it work for you in order to use a job to make you financially independent? In this video, I'm going to show you how that may be the case and what you can do to prevent it from happening to you, and ultimately using that job to help you reach financial independence. Hi, I'm Nadia, one half of the Wealth Twins, and on this channel, we teach people financial literacy and how to increase their wealth. So let's jump into it. One of the problems with having a job is that you become accustomed to receiving your paycheck on a consistent basis. That can lead to the habit of overspending, because you know that check is coming in at a specific time, so you said, okay, I can overspend now because I know I have money coming in. That habit is very hard to break, and it leads to a vicious cycle of overspending, not saving, and living paycheck to paycheck. When you do this, you're surrendering the control of your time and your life to an employer, and you're working at the whim and pleasure of that employer. When this happens, you're more likely to stay at a job that you don't like or is unfulfilling because you depend on that check. Look, we only have one life to live, and wasting your time at a job that you don't like simply because you depend on that paycheck is not worth it. I've been in that same position where I worked jobs that were not worthwhile to me, and I should have left a long time before I did. And now looking back at it, I wish I could get that time back, but that's not possible. But here's how you can use that consistent paycheck to help you reach financial independence. What I want you to do is stop overspending. This is something that's in your control. When you stop overspending, you're able to start managing your money better. When you have money that's left over after you have your paycheck, I want you to start saving. You want to build up an emergency fund so that if you do lose that job in the beginning, at least you have some money to fall back on. When you start building up an emergency fund, it gives you a little more ability to say yes or no to different opportunities that may come your way. And you're not simply thinking from a place of desperation because you need that paycheck in order to fund your lifestyle. Once you have at least 3 to 6 months of emergency savings, I want you to start investing in assets that will pay you an income. Now, this could be in the stock market, this could be in real estate, this could be in different businesses. The point of this is find out what works for you and make sure you're buying an asset and not a liability. And it's an asset if it pays you some sort of income. Preferably passive, so it doesn't require your time outside of your job, but in the beginning, it's okay if it's not passive, as long as it's bringing in another income. So your only source of income is not coming from your job. To make yourself less dependent on the job, and for you to reach financial independence, I want you to be able to use the training that that job provides for you. A lot of us are in positions where our employer offers additional training so you can increase your skills. When you increase your skills, you're not going to be dependent upon a job. That job can come and go. But what will happen is that you're no longer working a job, you're building a career. And when you're building a career, you can go to any place of employment and keep building your career there. You're not stuck in one particular job. Make yourself more valuable by gaining more skills, especially in your area of expertise. There's tons of training that you can get for the skills that you need in order to grow in your position and get paid more money. A lot of employers would gladly train a current employee than hire someone new off the street. It's much more expensive to do that. They'd rather train the employees that they have now so they can grow with the company. Use that to your advantage and make sure you're growing at the same time instead of just sitting there going day in, day out, just working for a paycheck. It's very easy to get into that monotonous grind, but don't do it to yourself. Use it to your advantage. This job, you should think to yourself, if I want financial independence, this job is temporary, but I have to use it to my full advantage and do my best here so that I can grow as a person and grow my financial independence. While you have that job and that consistent paycheck coming in, I want you to be able to lower your expenses. This is an opportunity for you to see what you truly need in your life and what you can cut out. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you, oh, you shouldn't drink any coffees or anything like that. But there are plenty of things that you can cut out of your life expense-wise that do not make sense, that are actually keeping you in a worse position than the benefit that it's bringing you. So just take a look at what your expenses are and see what you can do without. This is a beneficial exercise that will help you reach financial independence because it takes less to fund your lifestyle. When you have lower expenses, you can funnel that money into more assets or to the same assets that you chose that will pay you passive income. Once you get your money under control, I want you to start looking for other opportunities in the field that you're in that may pay you more. Now, we know when we're at a job, maybe that job is not paying you what you believe that you're worth, okay? And you may be settling for it because they're giving you just enough to be happy. But you know that there are other places willing to pay you more, but you're not willing to take the risk to leave. When you have your money under control, you're able to look at more opportunities and take that risk to go for those opportunities because you're not in fear of losing that paycheck. You're going to be willing to explore new opportunities that could be higher paying and at better positions when you get yourself from dependency on a job and towards the road of financial independence. And getting a higher paying job will help you reach financial independence even faster, especially when you have your overspending and your expenses under control. It's not in the benefit of the employer to pay you as much as they can. They will give you just enough to dangle that carrot in front of you just to keep you there. But I know a lot of us are underpaid and we're paid lower than our worth, especially if you're a woman in the corporate world. Now, to just get an idea of how many people feel that they're in a job that should be paying them more, or they gave you a raise, but you know it should have been more, I want you to write in the comments if that is the case for you. Now, when you put these steps into place in your life and you have a job, believe me, you'll be motivated to keep on your journey to financial independence. But I want to let you know, it takes a long time to reach financial independence. You're not going to reach it within a year or two unless you really do some drastic changes. But think of giving yourself a timeline of at least 10 years, okay? But I will tell you now, the flexibility and the freedom that comes with financial independence, it's worth putting those 10 years of work in and making sure you set yourself up for a lifetime. From my personal experience, reaching financial independence has allowed me to make more life choices based on what my priorities are and lower the stress in my life. I get to spend more time with my loved ones and I get to see my children grow up because I wasn't able to do that when I was working in the jobs I had and working multiple hours, like 80 hours a week, okay? Right now, I have the flexibility and I have other sources of income that give me that flexibility to live my life on my terms. And that to me is priceless. Even if your goal is not to reach financial independence or quit your job, you should at least, for your own sake, put yourself in the best position possible so you're not susceptible to risks that come with having a job and making that your only source of income. When your sole source of income is coming from a job, that makes you vulnerable to layoffs, reorgs, or whatever the state of the business is that you're in. Those are things that you cannot control. So if you want to have some kind of independence and some control over your life, put yourself in a better position by being financially independent. If not financial independence, at least financially free. It will be difficult to stay on this journey for a long time, especially if someone talks to you crazy at work, but just keep going. Put your head down, look for different opportunities, and get your money in a position that allows you to not be susceptible to the risks that come from being dependent on a job. Set realistic goals for yourself. Don't say I'm going to be financially independent in 2 years and you have a mountain of debt. Make sure the goals that you set are realistic for you. Never mind everyone else, what they're doing. Walk your own path and make sure you celebrate the milestones that you're going to hit along your journey. Anyone has the ability to reach financial independence. I don't want you to think that it's not for you. You get to choose what kind of life you want to live. It doesn't matter if someone needs millions of dollars, maybe you need a couple of $100,000. If you plan out what you want to do with your life, then you will understand how much money it takes to fund the lifestyle you want. It may take you longer than 10 years, but it doesn't matter because along the way, I'm telling you, you're going to stay encouraged and you're going to enjoy the freedom that comes from it. And it doesn't matter if it takes you 10 years, 20 years, it doesn't matter. As long as you're working your way there, you will be in a much more comfortable position than you are right now if you're depending on a job. It's within reach, and I want to congratulate you right now for even starting this journey. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe to the channel because we will love to have you as part of our community.